it's always a busy period for you guys. A lot of people think Cheltenham finishes and that's the end, but of course you guys have got Fairyhouse, Aintree, Punchestown. There's still an awful lot of this season to go, isn't there?
Yeah, especially obviously with Fairyhouse and Aintree being the 1 week, so just the 3 busy days, obviously. And now you'd think you'd have a down day today, actually, but no, today was quite busy as well. So obviously the first bunch for Thursday and Friday are leaving today, so yes, it's still busy away.
You must be thrilled with the way everything's going, David. Everything seems to really be coming together.
Touch wood, the horses are running well. We had a good festival at Fairyhouse. Obviously a great Cheltenham as well, so they're in good form, and if we can keep them for another couple of weeks, for an Aintree and Punchestown, it'd be great.
What was the sort of thought process amongst the team, David? Obviously, there's a slightly different dynamic with the trainers' titles in the two countries this year. Did that kind of come into the thinking quite a bit in terms of the overall Aintree team?
A little bit, obviously. The English Championship we never really look at until after Cheltenham, because obviously we don't target it early in the season, and we see what happens after Cheltenham. And looking at it this year after Cheltenham, Dan looked to have an unassailable lead, so we didn't really want to throw a load of horses at it here, there, and everywhere, and for nothing, we thought it was probably too far gone, so we just concentrated on Ireland, and it was. The consequence of that is definitely a smaller team than the last couple of years in Aintree, so.
It's a festival that a lot of people love over here, David. It's got a kind of different feel to Cheltenham. It almost feels like there's a bit more pressure on Cheltenham, and Aintree feels a bit more like a social event. I'm sure it's a social event for you.
Yeah, I love Aintree, and it is that. Obviously, Cheltenham does, as I say, it's more business-like in Cheltenham, where there's more of a fun factor in Aintree. I think the city take it to their heart, the race, they love it. I love Liverpool. I'm a Liverpool soccer fan anyway, so it makes no difference. So I love going over there anyway. But the people love it. There's a real party atmosphere there. They take it to their heart, and it's a brilliant festival. I love going.
You've got your new role right now, but we all remember you having great days as a jockey as well. What sort of days can you remember from that time at Aintree? You must have some good fun times when you were some great winners.
Wouldn't repeat a lot of what went on back in the early days. It doesn't happen now as such. I think it's a little bit more professional now. But yeah, it was great times. I remember when Martell sponsored the National, and like the old Way Room, I think there's a restaurant there or something now. So it was divided into 2 different rooms, and depending on which valet you had. But when you went in, if you were riding, say, in the Fox Hunters or the Topham or the National, there was a free bottle of Martell on your peg when you went in first thing in the morning, So you think there's a bottle of whiskey or brandy or whatever it is, sort of 10 o'clock in the morning when you're not in there, take a swig if you want, that kind of. But it wouldn't happen now. But it was always a great festival. As I say, the people in the city of Liverpool love it. They look after it well, and we always enjoy going back. Yeah, it was great.
You've got a great team. Obviously, a lot of people, the Thursday and Friday racing spectacular, the Saturday racing as well. You've got good horses going to them all, but I know a lot of people will focus on the main race, and understandably, there's a great focus on the team you guys have got. David, you've got such a fantastic recent record in the race. It's fabulous, and I thought,
I was looking at the horses coming up the road there in the car coming back up from work. I think you can make a strong case for everything we run in the race this year, kind of way. Obviously, Nickrockin's last year's winner. I am Maximus winner 2 years ago and second last year. I think he's a stronger preparation this year. Grange Clare West made a bad mistake at the last, Genuflected, and he's staying on. He's third.
Yeah.
And you go back to the likes of Keita Bourbon, who was third in the Irish National last year. Generally it's a good stepping stone. Captain Cody, Scottish National winner.
Yep.
High Class Hero placed in the Bet365. So all of those horses, I think you can make it, obviously they won't happen, but you can make an argument for them all, that they deserve their chance in the big race.
Yeah, of course, because even ones that may be overlooked, I think a lot of people may look at the ones with a proven record in the race, and that's understandable. But Leky Watson's won a Brown Advisory. Champ Kylie's a Grade 1 winner.
This is it. Leky Watson. I think the drying ground and the sun on his back when he gets to Aintree will really help him. He obviously had a big penalty to carry in the Bobby Joe last time, So he ran pretty well for a long way, and I think the ground has been so bad in Ireland this year. I think when a lot of the horses like him, when they get on a bit of nicer ground, bit of spring ground, I think it'll bring out the best in them.
Would that be something that you would, advise for people who are, runners?
Yeah, definitely. Horses like him.
Not even just for your team, David, but just in general.
Well, yes, and in general, I think, and I think that's why you got a couple of strange results in Cheltenham as well. Horses had been running on such bad ground in England and Ireland, so it was such a change. And I think again, horses going to Aintree, as I say, not just our own, but horses in general, when they get on a bit of nicer ground, spin ground, I think you could see a big improvement in a lot of horses that may have looked a fraction disappointing for the winter.
A lot of people will focus on Nickrockin. It has been a slightly a majorly interrupted preparation, but do you guys feel you've got him right where you want him now?
Yeah, he's working away well, but we would prefer to have had more runs into him, obviously, it is a bit of an interrupted preparation. But listen, the fact that he was so good round there last year, you've got to respect it, and you've got to give him every chance. I was happy with his comeback run. I thought he stayed on quite well after taking his blow. Hopefully that's improved in fitness-wise for it. And, as I say, when horses for courses, when they get back to Aintree, they seem to love it.
Good luck, Paul, picking one out of that lot. But you've got such a strong team of jockeys, haven't you, that you can call upon? Brian Hayes.
Yeah, I was looking at it. Like obviously, there's Paul, Patrick, Brian, Danny, Sean O'Keefe. I think Johnny Burke is going to ride for us. James Bowen and Donna Myler as well, who won the Irish Grand National. So we booked him last week actually as well to ride one of ours. So not sure which ones they'll all be put on yet, but yeah, so a good strong team of riders, and hopefully the horses to match, and then after that you just need plenty of luck, don't you?
I'll get the itch, David, when you see that off television.
Say that again.
Get the itch now and again.
Oh, big time, yeah. It's as I say, I'm retired 11 years now, but it's the one race I would love to have another go at is the Grand National. It's, to me, it's the pinnacle. It's the greatest race. The greatest thrill. I know it's a little bit different now to what it was, a little bit smaller, but I think just that atmosphere, and when you're in the parade and they play those horns and on the way to the start, it gets the butterflies going, and you can't beat that adrenaline rush.
You know it's coming, David. The question's coming. Which one would you get the leg over if you had the choice?
I'm going to go for Iron Maximus, I think. Obviously, winner 2 years ago, second last year. I think he's just had a little bit of a stronger preparation this year. And looking at the last few years, I don't think weight is that much of a hindrance to the horses anymore. It's lesser of a field, as in 34 runners, and distance is a fraction shorter. It'll be nice ground. If it was a real slog, you'd worry about obviously heavy ground, but I think the weather forecast looks like being nice. As I say, I think he's had just a little bit of a stronger preparation this year, and his runs so far this year have been very good. Obviously, I think in Leopardstown the 2 days, and in the John Durkan back in November. So yeah, I'm going to stick my neck out and say Iron Maximus might be able to reclaim the prize.
Well, David, to all your horses, Willie's horses, we wish you all the very best luck. Thank you for taking the time to join us, and we'll see you in Liverpool.
Cheers, Greg. Look forward to it.